And this is going to be game 2 between WhiteRa and Thorzain. We did see a pretty cool match over there on Shakura's Plateau, so if you haven't seen that one yet, please do check it out. I have a link to that video in the comments below. I don't know if there are any additional games here. I'm just picking these up one after another. So this was from Blizzcon. Thorzain is going to be spawning over here as the blue Terran player, and directly next to him in close air positions is going to be WhiteRa. This is MLG's version of Metalopolis. Looks like there is no rock over, or little thingy over there, but it did load up as being MLG Metalopolis. WhiteRa over here, have fun, good luck with a happy face. WhiteRa is a very happy player indeed, getting probes here right now. And as I was saying in the last video, please check out the stream coming up tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be August 8th. So if you're seeing this video anytime after August 8th, it's not tomorrow anymore, it was a few days ago. And please check out the archives that will be coming up in the VODs. But if you do see this out early, please check out the stream, twitch.tv/AgesStarcraft, for the grand final of the American Pro League Season 1. We have the barracks coming up. I'll be streaming it, possibly see if we can get some additional casters on for that as well. Barracks coming up for Thorzain, and the gateway coming up for WhiteRa over here. He's placing it pretty close to his ramp. I don't know what the effect of that is to be. Looks like he's going to be throwing down his next pylon in the backside, going to be guarding those gas vents over there. Assimilator on the way for WhiteRa, going to be chrono boosting a lot of probes as of this moment. A couple of probes headed to that assimilator right now, and no gas from Thorzain, so he may be going for that fast expansion once again, or maybe some TLO style 6 barracks cheese. We'll see which one it is in just a moment. It looks like it may be that expansion. Expansion is now coming up for Thorzain, and we'll see how WhiteRa responds to that. Possibly go for yet again a 1-gate expansion. Looks like Thorzain is very comfortable with this build. Definitely wants to get that extra mineral income very early. There's that probe getting taken out by that Marine. Marine is going to get some target practice in today, headed to the ramp now. His buddy is on the way, still getting trained at the barracks. SCV is going to be poking in here and checking everything out. I don't think WhiteRa knows about the expansion, but I believe he can guess by not seeing any of that gas up. So he may be checking for that real soon. There's a Stalker being chrono boosted right now. More probes going to be popping out for WhiteRa, and his natural expansion is going to be getting a bunker so that he can get those Marines inside. Another barracks coming up, as well as the double gas coming up for Thorzain in the main. So he is going to be getting some infantry upgrades as soon as possible. We have the Stalker headed out across the map. And the natural expansion coming up for WhiteRa, still behind the Terran player's expansion, but he will be able to get some additional econ by chrono boosting probes continuously. Looks like that Stalker is going to be coming over here trying to do some damage against those Marines. He will be able to injure a couple of those Marines, target firing one Marine, and down he goes, and the bunker just finishes. 2 Marines do be scoot in there and will be protected from that Stalker. Stalker will be backing up and taking control of that Xel'Naga watchtower, checking everything out. WhiteRa over here now grabbing the second gas at his main base. Possibly going to be getting up some additional gateways real soon. There's gateways 2 and 3 coming up. Another Stalker is going to be moving out across the map, going to be checking everything out over there as well. Checking to see if there's any hidden SCVs in this locale. WhiteRa now going to be sending some probes over to the natural expansion. Should be seeing a worker transfer real soon to be able to mine some additional minerals from that natural expansion. The stim pack upgrade is on the way for Thorzain, so he will have that essential upgrade for infantry real soon. And we have additional Marines on the way for Thorzain. And he's going to be walling off over here with a supply depot. Additional mules going to be dropping at the natural expansion, trying to get that mined out as quickly as possible. The sentries over here spawning out for WhiteRa, both players of similar food count. Stalkers and a probe now moving to the front. Going to see if he can put on some pressure. 3 gateways, 4 gateways now finishing up. Should be able to push some pressure on See if he can break this front here. There's just a few units. If he force fields this over here, he could probably take this out with some 4-gate pressure. And here comes some Stalkers. Going to be checking everything out over here. Going to take some free shots from that Marauder. That is not where you want to start here. And he's going to be warping in some additional units right now. Sentries now also poking forth. WhiteRa sending some SCVs to the front, going to be checking everything out with those guys. And a SCV is going to be moving back and forth over here for a while. And WhiteRa is going to be looking to warp in some additional units before putting on this pressure. Stalkers coming forth, going to be cleaning up that SCV. Thorzain trying to make ghosts right now. He has his Ghost Academy already. Stimpack is finishing up, and as soon as that's done, it's going to be very hard for WhiteRa to push in there and do some damage. SCVs continuing to scoot around and checking everything out. There's a probe over here, possibly going to throw down an additional pylon. Looks like WhiteRa is not going to be going for this pressure anytime soon. Looks like actually here comes a warp in of Stalkers. We'll see if he decides to go for this after that, but it's going to be really difficult since that Stimpack upgrade has finished and there are now ghosts out on the field. EMP not quite ready yet because of that energy. And WhiteRa is actually swinging all the way back over here. A probe is going to be scooting in here and checking things out. See if he can break this front over here. The +1 ground armor is on the way. More Zealots getting warped in over here. WhiteRa is going to be pushing in here in just a second. The units getting out of that bunker for just a second. Looks like these force fields are going to be going down, and an EMP going off on the Protoss army, making it extremely weak, and WhiteRa is going to lose his entire army over here. The Terran units even stimming up and running forth. The SCV is getting pulled off the line as well. This pylon is going to get busted down, and WhiteRa falls to 62 food to the 83 food of Thorzain. A mule falling down to be able to continue mining those minerals. WhiteRa in a little bit of trouble here, getting 2 additional gateways now. What he needs to do is to be able to defend any sort of counter push, and here comes the counter push across the map for Thorzain. He has the ghosts at the ready. Looks like there's not quite enough energy for EMP as of this moment, but he will be able to push in here and see if he can do some damage. There's not much in the form of defense here. 2 photon cannons trying to warp in, a couple of sentries without that much energy, and here comes the push. Gonna be moving in here, gonna take out the Manx statue. Everyone's angry at those guys here, and it looks like WhiteRa does have enough units for the defense now, and Thorzain is gonna back up over there and possibly take out a pylon and maybe go for yet another expansion. There's the 3rd base coming up for Thorzain. The ground armor finishing up, and the +1 ground weapons coming up. Photon cannon's gonna be taking out that one Marine. Looks like the photon cannon did get the kill. The Stalkers a little bit unhappy about that one. Gonna go talk to the Union about that. And the ground weapons level 1 gonna get chrono boosted a little bit. 6 gateways up for WhiteRa, and the 3rd base coming up for Thorzain. Gonna be securing that nice economic advantage. There is a Marine watching for the 3rd base of WhiteRa. Charge on the way as well. Templar Archives looks like the same composition from WhiteRa as the last game. That one Marine knows that the expansion is on the way, so WhiteRa it should be grabbing his 3rd base real soon. Thorzain over here gonna be finishing up the armory as well. More upgrades for the infantry through this engineering bay. Medevacs now on the way, gonna get a little bit supply blocked here. A couple of SCVs now transferring over to that 3rd base. 3rd base now on the way for WhiteRa. So WhiteRa's 3rd base is quite a ways behind. He probably needs to do some damage if he wants to win in the long term. And there is the robotics facility now on the way as well. The +1 finishing up, and WhiteRa is going to be possibly doing a timing attack. Looks like that is not going to happen. A factory is going to be scooting in here, checking things out. It does see the Twilight Council, knows that there's the possibility of a Templar. There it is, and he knows the possibility of a possible Dark Templar, but looks like it's a really low possibility because of what he sees over here. It looks like the factory will go down before scouting any more. Seeing the robotics facility is not going to be for the factory today. Thorzain is now pulling ahead with 20 food lead. Templar now being warped in, going to be making some Archons here. +1, +2 ground armor now on the way as well. More observers popping out across the map. A couple of Zealots making their way over here. It looks like there is a planetary fortress, making sure that nothing can actually bust this down. Thorzain now making yet another command center at his natural expansion, possibly just to drop mules or maybe to take a very fast 4th base. WhiteRa now making probes for that 3rd expansion. Gas getting taken as well, more probes transferring over. More Archons are gonna get warped in here. No Storm on the way, so this is very strange here, not going for that Storm, since Storm is such a good upgrade, especially against Marine Marauder. There are ghosts here for the EMP, but there's only 3 of them that I can see, so I still feel like getting a lot of Templar for the Storm is a good idea. Robotics Bay now on the way to deal with that Terran army, and here comes the push out across the field from Thorzain. He still hasn't taken care of this pylon, so it's been able to get a very nice scout of exactly what's going on. Looks like he will be able to pick off a pylon over here. Pylon going down for WhiteRa. This actually supply blocks him, and the scan going down, going to be seeing everything that WhiteRa has, and it looks like our Terran army may be pushing real soon. WhiteRa needs to reposition to be able to defend his 3rd base as well. The units here headed towards that 3rd expansion. WhiteRa repositioning his army over here to defend his 3rd base, as well as the robotics bay. Still no Colossus on the field yet. More units getting warped in. Thorzain is going to go for it, 181 to the 166, no Storm available, and here comes the push from Thorzain, and the Zealots were on hold position for just some time, and EMP is not quite hitting all of the Zealots yet, but they did hit most of the Stalkers. Force fields going off over here, going to be walling part of the army over there, and more units trying to get warped in from WhiteRa. Those force fields are actually holding the Terran army back a little bit. The Stimpack going down yet again. The Medevacs healing the units as quickly as possible. A couple of Zealots and Sentries getting stuck in the backside. Looks like the army from WhiteRa is getting torn apart. Thorzain's army is going to be able to bust in here, killing off all of the units that are warping in as well. The Medevacs in the air doing the healing job. Going to be able to clean up this 3rd base. WhiteRa trying to get in some additional units. The GG from WhiteRa, and Thorzain takes another game from WhiteRa. I'll see if I can find another game and post it up for you guys. This is Aegis signing off.